Another very fond memory I have of Jason and being young boys growing up involves we spent many hours at that cottage up on Tuttle Lake, and Jason and I slept in the same room. We had bunk beds, and I don't remember exactly how old we were. Jason slept in the top bunk. I slept in the bottom bunk. And my legs were long enough to where I could, reach Jason's the bottom of his bed, and I could push up on the bed. And one night I was awake in the middle of the night. Must have been, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning. I think it was really just odd that I would be up at that time, but I was, and I was kind of bored. And of course, there were no cell phones back then, and you didn't watch TV at that time of night. You just were in bed and sleeping, and that was all there was to it, And I don't know. Again, I was probably 10, 11, maybe 12 years old, and Jason would have been, he's 2.5 years younger than me, so you can do the math on that one. But I was just bored, and I wanted someone to talk to, and Jason was right there. Of course, he was sleeping, but I took my feet and put them up on the underside of his bed and lifted up his bed and let it back down, and I would just stretch my legs and or lock my knees and push up on his bed a little bit, and eventually he woke up and told me to stop. He was not happy with me doing that, and of course, being the older brother, I had to continue on, and I pressed my legs, and eventually Jason got angry and he yelled, "Stop, stop!" And I kept going. And eventually, Jason started coming down the stairs, or the ladder that was there, going from the top bed coming down. And I thought he was running to tattle on me, to tell Mom that and I was going to be in big trouble for waking him up and end up ultimately waking Mom up in the middle of the night just because I was bored. And so I wanted to prevent Jason from doing that. And so I jumped out of bed, chased him, tackled him. It was a good tackle, actually. And right about the time Jason hit the floor was when the puke started coming out. As it turns out, all of my jostling of Jason made him sick. And he puked all over the floor, and he started crying. And of course, he was a young boy. There was nothing to be. I didn't tease him about crying, but that was a story where I tackled him to try to prevent him from telling on me, and as it turned out, he puked all over the floor. Now I crawled back into bed, and it was one of the few times in my life I can remember not really getting into trouble for what happened. Mom was really angry about what happened, and of course Jay's screaming, yelling, crying, and that Bob did it. He tackled me, and of course I got asked, "What'd you tackle him for?" And I said I thought he was going to tell. So I didn't really get in too much trouble. Mom had a big mess to clean up. Jay got to spend a little time in the bathroom. They came back to bed, and ultimately he was fine the next day. But that's one of our stories that still lives on to this day about Jason getting tackled in the middle of the night as he was running to the bathroom, and I thought he was running to tell.